as I see you, you're a free-spirited soul and you talk the language of heart. And that's why got attracted to me to actually understand you better and allow people to see you for who you are. So my next apparent question would be, because you told me right now that you would like to describe yourself through your soul. Now, where did this journey of spirituality began for you? When was it?
Well, I would say from an early age, maybe from my young teenage years, I started to realize that there was something going on. I had some kind of connection, and I was given a big boom at the age of, let's say, 14, 15 years old. I was really hit by a big message. And then I was interested in literature. I was reading books. I was curious for spirituality and spiritual growth and authors. But it always just was there. I didn't deep dive into it, but it was always there as a curiosity. But then I would say the next really big bang, I would say 2000, I was through the different parts of my life with a huge grief. My parents passed away. My sister's son passed away, and a lot of pain and sorrow and grief and tragedies was a part for a couple of years. And on top of that, I was heartbroken in a relationship. So I was really crushed deep down in the big black hole. That was 2002. So from there, I started to take small curiosity steps, but then I really took a huge leap, 2003, into places where you are experiencing and, developing for your spiritual growth, both in Sweden and in international Indian festivals and stuff like that. So what really took me back to the core of finding a glimpse again of lust for life was the body free movement of dancing, no choreography. So liberated dance. And those who are listening to this maybe are familiar with a big icon in this field, the Five Rhythms founder, Gabrielle Roth. So I found out of her and I was really, blown away. And we have a spiritual dancing teacher here in Sweden as well. She was a pioneer taking to Sweden actually many, many years ago, this kind of liberated dance form. So that really took me hard and brought me back to life. And the year after that, 2004, I was given, I would say that's my gift from God. I used to say, because I was receiving a huge 2 messages. One of them that you are a build bridger, and because you can speak, act, and interact in the worlds of the spiritual world and this world on the planet, on Mother Earth, and the bridge as also the personality. I was working at the TV at the time, so people was considering me where I was living at as, she's in telly, she's looking like that, and I didn't talk, so I had never talked so much actually about my spirituality. I did that 10 years ago in another TV thing. I was a part of a reality show. So there I started 10 years ago to really, get out of the closet and talking and showing my spirituality and chakra balance dance and fire walks and stuff like that. So I would say from 2004, I started to, in small groups, to lead and teach and guide through this combination I put together with the chakra system and the dance. And from there, chakra balance dance was born.
That's really a journey. And the thing is, like, when you say that, when this whole breakthrough came to you, was it anything you felt that, because I would like to know that your spiritual breakthrough was something that people can relate with, in terms of that, do you think that many people can understand? Because we all have spirituality within us, but it is just to recognize that. So how do you see that process begins? When do we begin our spiritual process?
Yeah, it can be like the example of mine, through a big a grief or something terrible happens in your life, when you're, yeah, like now in the world, we have a huge pandemic going on, and people are confronted with a lot of emotionals coming, you know, we can, how we handle this situation is very individual. But what I can see many people go into is the drama, and they want to fight who is right, who is wrong, taking vaccine or anti-vaccine, you know, all this, that is drama. And if we let go and don't interact with this drama, just stay with self, just listen to self, don't go so much in for the media and other stuff. If you want to go in for, of course we have to take in some kinds of resources of where we find out information, but widen that spectrum, widen that, and include most of all your inner self and the connection within yourself, where you can find the space in self where you can take a deep breath and really rest in self. Don't be so much blurred up in the head, you know, where the mind, I have a naughty word, I say mind fuck uh, for that, because that's what's happening when we are getting trapped in the mind. We are victimized in the mind, and we are victimized in what other people are saying, doing, and trying to convince us to believe. And all kinds of belief systems, whatever they are, from childhood and workspace, partners, parents, whatever. Uh, it's so easily to get trapped into that. Yes. So I think the best advice for my behalf is just to listen to self and interact. I have my best friend Buddha here, and that doesn't mean that I follow any religion. As we all know, the Buddhism is not for following the gods, though I think it's a huge importance that you connect with what is for you, feels good, with what kind of spirituality is. What is spirituality? What is your soul? Try to investigate that, and investigate it with curiosity, not for finding out the right answer or how you should live your life. Because what I got chills now. They are talking to me. That's a sign I get when truth is responding. So people find their own signs. I'm a sign seeker, you know, and we have a beautiful woman here in Sweden. Her name is Agneta Sjödin. She's a very famous TV host and author, and she's very also open with her spirituality. Not from the religious perspective at all either. So I interview her on my stages when I'm organizing one of my concepts, the holistic health and spiritual beauty, and seeking signs. As I was giving now the sign of chills, where, you know, when my hair is raising, because that is when truth is connecting, when truth is responding. And that can be only with calmness or feeling peaceful, or let go of worries. So find out from a curiosity perspective. And from that behalf also, it's good because you don't have to put yourself in a specific field of this is what I believe and this is the way to act upon. So I think if we have a perspective of curiosity and openness and willingness to investigate and explore, what is it to be a human? What is it to be a soul in this body? What is it to be alive in this special time happening right now? If you want to have the view of that we are incarnated as souls in a physical body, it's one of the most amazing times to be incarnated in. Because this period of time we're living in now is historical. We will always go back and view what happened when the pandemic of Corona was happening. Who were you? What were you doing at that time? How did you respond and act upon? And to be a good role model for that, from my perspective, is not to go into dramas, not try to convince anyone else or judge other people of what they are convinced about, either if you think it's wrong, because we know actually not much about it. We can just see it as a curse or a blessing. And from my perspective, the blessing into it is that we all have an opportunity to really go deeper and dive into self and dive into these questions I was talking about. And from that perspective, follow the truth. Maybe open your heart and connect with your spirit and soul to really find out, what will my next step in life be? What do I want to act upon? When I can see that how treasurable life is, and how can I really, in a humble way, also act upon that message, to speak my truth, to live my truth, and to follow the wish from my heart and my soul. And so the next chapter will be that, wow, maybe your life would be better you could ever imagine because of the pandemic.
Really?
Way, I mean, that's a way of perspective. Everything, it's maybe that's hard to, I don't know how people all over the world, we have all different challenges. And I'm in Sweden, we are quite, as all the rest of the world is in many ways criticizing. But since I came from another country on the other side of the world, difficulties to come home, I'm so grateful that I came back to Sweden, that we still have the opportunity to live quite free anyway. Yeah.